following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Leatherneck women's basketball returned to Leroy A. Court. How the WIU women tackled the first test of this week against the Bradley Braves.
And we'll sit down with Macomb's girls basketball coach after their rivalry win, what he has to say about the style of the team play and what advantage that gives them.
And it's time to head to the mats for a little wrestling. See how Macomb High fared at home against Mercer County in the Macomb High Gym. Local Sports Focus starts now. Welcome to Local Sports Focus, a show that covers everything Western Illinois and Macomb High School after a 2-week hiatus. I'm Danny Fry.
Yes, and I'm Redrick Terry. On today's show, we have Western Illinois men's basketball, women's basketball, and all the MHS sports you can handle.
But first, we begin on the hardwood. Leatherneck women's basketball very busy inside Western Hall this week.
That's right. Monday presented the first of 3 tests this week for WIU on their home court, and it will be an in-state foe providing the competition as the Bradley Braves invaded Leroy A. Court.
Let's head there right now. Jasmine Patrick getting the team ready before tip. Off to a fast start, Emily Clemens finds Taylor Higginbotham, who goes baseline, lays it in. An early Bradley timeout less than a minute and a half into the first quarter. Now midway through, Letty Lerma, nice bounce past Chelsea Brackman, the hoop and the harm there for the Braves. And then Lerma again dishing it to Alona Johnson. She drains the wing triple. Leathernecks would have an answer though. Olivia Kaufman, the steal on the fast break. She lays it up and in. Leathernecks by 4.
And they just went to doing what they do best, Danny. Olivia Kaufman, Michelle Farrow, bang, the 3-ball there. Western jumps out to an 8-point lead. Final seconds of the quarter, Madison Delamuth fumbles the pass but gets it back and lays it in to beat the buzzer, 22-16 Western after 1. Less than 10 seconds into the second, Braun to Bloomer. The layup is good. Later on, Higginbotham finds Olivia Braun, who steps into a deep 2-point. That's good. Leathernecks led by 14 at the half.
Quick start to the third quarter. Clemens, oh yeah, that's Morgan Bloomer. She drains the corner triple. Leathernecks by 17, but Bradley wasn't done yet. The Brown County product, Vanessa Marker, turns and lays it in over a couple of defenders. Leathernecks would respond. Higginbotham to Bloomer. She buries another 3. And we go to the midway in the third.
Yep, Farrow's pass will be stolen right there. That's Alona Johnson getting upstairs, getting the steal, and she'll take it the distance. Easy layup. Leatherneck lead is 12. Now that was until Michelle Farrow finds Emily Clemens, and guess what? Another Leatherneck 3. WIU serving up a 20-piece, leading 64-44.
But those Braves just wouldn't go away. Inside to Marker and the foul, keeping some hopes alive. 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth. It's Chelsea Brackman for 3. The Western lead cut down to just 8, but Western would respond. Morgan Bloomer inside for an easy layup, and then Bloomer here with the hoop and the harm. She had a few and ones at the end of the game to seal the deal for the Leathernecks.
The Braves were pesky in that one, but WIU is back in the win column, 91-77, as Emily Clemens continues to impress. 23 points and 8 helpers. Coach JD, what do you have to say after the victory?
You know, I thought it was a really nice win. We really take some pride in how we compete against other teams in Illinois, and Bradley being the closest Division I school as far as miles go. I know that means a lot to our players. We recruit against them quite a bit, so it was a nice win.
The Western women play host to NAIA Graceland on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. right here tonight.
From the women to the girls we go. Macomb High headed back to the Washington Street Gym this past weekend.
They look to grab a key early season victory against a familiar opponent from not too far away, Bushnell Prairie City.
Well, let's head to the Washington Street Gym right now. Girls getting ready to go. 4 minutes left in the quarter. Abby Pendarvis finds Madison Allen, who knocks it in off glass. Good start for Bushnell. They led 4-0. A few minutes later, this is a steal, knocking it loose from Nicole Lester, and here comes Madison Allen in transition right to the hoop. She lays it in, 12-5 Bushnell early.
4:36 left in the second quarter. Erica Dawson on the fast break. She scores through the tough defense, but still 12-5 Bushnell. 3 minutes left in the half. Nicole Lesser wide open in the corner. Drains a long two, though. That's worth 2 points. Macomb now down 12-9. A minute later, Alex Nevey misses it inside, but she'll clean up her own miss, lay it back in. That game is tied at 12.
Next Bomber possession. Here's a three-pointer miss, but Alex Nevey, there she is again, gets the rebound, puts it back on the second chance. And once again, the game is tied at 14. Now 8 seconds left in the half. Off the Bomber turnover, this is a basket to beat the buzzer by Madison Allen. Bushnell up 16-15, and the Bombers were looking to readjust at the half.
To the third, Macomb will make it 24-18 rather. Sophie Whitford with the long ball, and then 2 minutes left in the third. What a nice find. A sweet dish from Lester to Jordan Hare for the layup. The Bushnell JV squad trying to root on for a varsity comeback, and they would get it. Allen to Pendarvis, who nails the three. Macomb lead down to just 1.
9 seconds left. That's a Jordan Hare free throw to make it a 46-42 Bomber lead. So Coach Keaton telling them, hey, we got to keep this lead, right? Last possession, 9 seconds left. Madison Allen bringing it up for Bushnell. Off the pull-up, she gets it to go from downtown. That made it a 1-point game. The Bombers would inbound the ball and run the rest of the time off the clock for the victory.
So the Lady Bombers, they fend off a furious Spartan comeback late to take it 46-45. MHS back in action Thursday night at Rushville Industry.
Well, 2 WIU athletes have been recognized on the All-Missouri Valley Football Conference team that was announced earlier this week.
Junior linebacker Brett Taylor and senior wide receiver Lance Lenore made the team after stellar individual seasons. News 3's Jason Chauvin had a chance to speak with both Taylor and Lenore about
you got to treat every practice just like it's a game. You know, we're working with a great group of linebackers every single day, and you got to try to outwork everyone else. You know, and then if you're working hard, you're making everyone else better. And then Coach Fisher's doing a great job coaching up the linebackers. He gives his all every single day, and I just really appreciate that.
I believe it's my work ethic. I go out there and I work hard. I always play with a chip on my shoulder, so I always have that motivation and grind to go out there and do something. And like I said, just working hard and it pays off, so just thankful for that.
Lenore's playing days at Hanson Field may be over, but he brings lots of memories with him. And as for Taylor, he has plenty to build on for his senior season in 2017.
The playoff run from last year. Kind of fell short this year, but, you know, things happen. But just remember the memories here at Western, my teammates, you know, building a bond with them over the 4 years, and just having the privilege to play here and be at this wonderful school, university. So that's kind of what I remember.
Keep working, you know. I can't stop working. We got 2 weeks off after this end of the year, but I know most of the guys, including myself, are already eager to get back into it, doing optional things, going to yoga, working on flexibility, strength, speed, all that different kind of stuff, and you'll see a different team next year.
And the Leatherneck season may be over, but Lance Lenore did announce on his social media page that he will take part in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl in Daytona Beach, Florida on January 7th.
What an honor for Lance. Coming up next on Local Sports Focus, we dive into the pool for the Macomb Swimming Invitational. On the boys' side, some of the top teams outside of the Western Illinois area competed.
And WIU men's basketball is in action on Saturday in a game that took longer than regulation to find out a winner. Stay tuned.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
And welcome back. Leatherneck men's basketball was also in action this past weekend.
Following 2 consecutive road losses, Billy Wright and crew look to get back on track against an upstart Chicago State Cougar crew. They were in search of road win #1 of the year. To the highlights we go. Leatherneck's back in Western Hall for the first time since Thanksgiving Eve. And Garrett Covington, he's ready to go. You know he has his own commercial. Bang with the 3 from the right corner.
And the Leathernecks were showing off good ball movement early. There's Mike McClusack in the corner. He knocks in the triple. Leathernecks have a 6-2 lead. And then here on the offensive side, Brandon Gilbeck grabbing the miss offensively. McClusack, how about another one? Another one for the wing. Western had a 9-8 lead at that point.
Okay, DJ Colin. Later in the half, Cougars on the move. Glenn Mercer, what a name. Clemmy Owens, the 5th. For 3 from the corner. Chicago State up 22-19. 5 minutes of more good ball movement. This time, the beneficiary is C.J. Duff. 3-pointer good. Chicago State, though, by 2 at the break. CSU on offense, second half to Clemmy Owens, the 5th again. Another 3 from the wing. A Cougar 2-point lead. Then Trayvon Palmer to DeLundre Dixon from the corner. Another corner 3 by Chicago State. 62-60 Cougars.
Crunch time here. Fred Sims Jr. on the pull-up. Chicago State led by 4 at that point. It will go to overtime. And how about NOT? Clemmy Owens on the drive. There's 5 of them, but only one of them hit that basket. Chicago State up 75-72. And then where do you go when you need a basket if you're the Leathernecks? Garrett Covington. Late triple from the corner. That brought Western within 2. Leathernecks would need a stop on this drive. They inbound. Palmer hits a streak in Clemmy Owens, and he gets the layup to go and the foul. That sealed the deal for the Cougars. Look at those fans in the back. They're loving the win.
A lot of dabs being thrown everywhere there, Radrick. Garrett Covington's 30 piece is not enough for Western. Final in overtime, Chicago State slips by 83-76. Back to the drawing board for the 2-6 Leathernecks. Well, they're off this week preparing for EIU on Saturday. Head coach Billy Wright realizes the Leathernecks need to take better care of the rock.
Sound like a broken record, but we have to take care of the basketball and make good decisions because it's hard to overcome that. And that's one area we feel that we can control. We focus on what we can control. And when you look at the end of the game, you look at the stat sheet, and you're giving up 15 to 25 points off turnovers, that's an area where if you cut that in half, maybe the outcome is different.
And they'll try it again this Saturday. Well, switching back to MHS, Macomb High boys swimming has been underway, and the Bombers hosted their own invite Saturday with a very loaded field.
Go to Coach Anthony Blow. He'll talk to time officials before this one. Second heat of the 200-yard individual medley. Nathan Welch will beat out Kevin Chen of Normal Community for 4th place. Final time for Welch was right around the 2-minute 45 mark. And then Coach Anthony Blome, he's trying to fix that darn time sensor. He's doing the dirty work right here.
If you want the job done right, you got to do it yourself. To the first heat of the 100-yard freestyle we go. Evan Baker will finish second behind Tanner Tucci of Normal Community with a final time of 1:04.49 for Baker. And you got to love the sportsmanship at the end there. Good job, good race. Get a little fist bump in there. Great sportsmanship for those two.
Of course, and off they go in the first heat of the one you swim on your back, the 100-yard, or the one you're in front, breaststroke. Ahead of myself. I can't see. But Coach Leaf Miller edges out Lincoln High School's Alex Downing. That one comes down to a photo finish. Final time for Miller is 1:26.44.
And what a stacked invite with Springfield High dominating. Shout out to Glenwood High School coming in 5th.
Titan Pride!
This is where Danny Fry says Titan Pride, of course. Macomb ends in 9th place with 53 points.
So we'll come back here and then we'll go to the mats. The Macomb High wrestling team played host to Mercer County on Tuesday night. Coach Ladd with a few words before the duel. At 106 pounds, Nate Wilson of Macomb facing Clay Chapman, and Wilson scores off of the reversal early, but the tables would turn, however. Chapman almost pinning Wilson, but he would barely stay alive. Cue the Bee Gees there in the match, and Wilson hangs on to win by a 6-5 decision for the Bombers. Colt Lawyer is a state honorable mention. He shows why by pinning his opponent at the 350 mark of the 126-pound weight class. To 145 we go. Wally Bloomer of MHS against Tanner Barnhouse of Mercer County. Both parties end up scoring here, but Bloomer built a big advantage through 2 periods. And then right here, he decided to shoot, score a couple of points, and by that, he would win by tech fall, the wrestling version of a mercy rule, 18-3.
And although there were a few strong Bomber performances, Mercer County took the match as a team, 49-20. Well, when Local Sports Focus returns, the head coach of MHS girls basketball, Zach Keene, is in the studio. Don't go anywhere.
You have 2 minutes to grab a cup of coffee and join us back here for Local Sports Focus.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Local Sports Focus. Danny Fry here now, joined by the head coach of the Macomb High girls basketball team, Zach Keene. Coach, thanks for taking the time and coming out here to talk a little MHS girls basketball.
Absolutely, Danny. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem at all having you on. And just talk about grinding out a win back on Monday night against Bushnell Prairie City, 46-45. What kind of stood out to you in that game?
You know, the big thing for us is just kind of taking care of the ball near the end and knocking down the free throws. That was a big kind of Achilles heel for us throughout the game. I think we finished somewhere around the neighborhood of 13-27, and when our big star Jordan Hare steps up and knocks down the big 4 free throws at the end to kind of seal the deal for us, that was definitely huge. But it was nice for us to get a win on the home floor. It was nice to kind of come back after a slow start to the game, only scoring 2 points in the first quarter, and then really kind of closing things out. So it was a good team win for us on Monday night.
And what really picked up there after that first quarter?
You know, the big thing, I think we just kind of settled in a little bit offensively. We're not a team that's going to wow you on offense. We're not going to put up 60, 70 type points, but we definitely got to take care of the ball and get some easy baskets. And I think we were able to do that. We kind of got in the flow a little bit with Jordan and getting some scoring down low, and that kind of opened up some shots from the perimeter for Sophie Whitford. But just nice to get that win.
And describe what type of style of basketball. I mean, you're going with only one senior on the team. Well, what's the style of basketball this year?
You know, the thing has changed for us, and in the last 4 years since I got to MHS, and even prior to that, I've been a full court press, run and jump. Let's score and let's get up and down. And making the jump to a 3A, you know, we found out last year it's tough for us to compete at that level against bigger, faster, stronger kids. So we've kind of made a little bit of an adjustment on offense and went away from the dribble drive offense a little bit more and run a little bit more of the swing offense that maybe you're familiar with seeing with Wisconsin, you know, the Bo Ryan type offense where we're working it for a good shot and kind of finding what we need to get. And defensively, we've kind of made a little bit of a jump and a switch of defense and kind of the same transition that the women are making here at Western, where I know they're playing a little bit more of the matchup zone and we're playing a little bit of the 1-3-1. So we're trying to mix things up and play something that you don't normally see at the high school level, and it's been good for us in terms of half-court defense. We haven't given up a lot of points in half-court defense. When we're giving up points, it's on turnovers. So we've got to find a way to take care of the ball, but our half-court defense is coming along, but it's been a transition for these kids.
And that transition to Class 3A, a lot of that is, I think, conditioning as well to be able to keep up, because I remember going to that regional game last year against Peoria Richwoods in Canada and kept up there for about a half, and then obviously, you know, the athletes kind of come out in the second.
It absolutely is, and that's kind of what we talked about. You know, if we're going to be a run and jump team, we've got to have 10, 12, 15 type athletes, and we don't really have that right now, you know, and that's, you just kind of adjust to your personnel. And you know, this is the first time in a long time that we've really played a zone defense, and our kids are starting to adapt to it. You know, we've only been doing it now for about a month and a half, so we're still trying to learn the ropes with it a little bit, but in the same sense, we're doing a decent job with it. We've still got to fine tune it and work at it, but it's a whole different ball game from going from run and jump and being a go type offense to kind of slow it down and take care of the basketball.
And you talk about having a young team too, but that could also mean kind of, you know, laying some of those blocks down for the future.
It absolutely is. You know, we've got an extremely young team. We've only got one senior on the team with 7 juniors. We're dressing 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen. So a lot of these kids are getting a lot of solid playing time, but in the same sense, it seems like every team we're going up against has got 6, 7 seniors and are conditioned and know how to play at that level. And we've got kids that, you know, just a little less than a year ago, we're playing in junior high. So, you know, it's a big transition for some of these kids.
Now, you always preach this. I mean, you talk about the run and jump, but you always talk about Havoc. Well, what's Havoc basketball?
Havoc for us, you know, used to be run and jump, full court press, and we still mix that in occasionally. But now Havoc for us has been a little bit more in the half court, where we're playing a traditional 1-3-1, but it's not really sitting in the half court 1-3-1. We're trapping in the corners. We're still trying to speed up the game a little bit, but it's not so much of us chasing and having to be one-on-one type defense. It's more there's always 3-on-1, and we're still trying to trap and still trying to speed up the offense if we can.
What's something you've seen so far kind of here in the young season? Obviously a lot of the season to go, but what have you kind of seen kind of steadily improve?
The big thing we're starting to see is our kids just trying to take some consistent shots. You know, early in the season, we weren't looking to score. We were trying to figure out, you know, who are we going to go to score, who's going to take the shots for us, and we've kind of settled in a little bit. You know, our main go-to player right now is Jordan Hare, a solid junior for us, and Sophie Whitford as well, starting to step up from the outside, but we're starting to get some contributions from multiple people.
And talk about the schedule as well. Trying to put some of those heavier teams in there. I mean, obviously it helps when you host your own tournament at the beginning with the Lady Blonde Bomber Classic.
It absolutely does, and we really beefed that up. You know, we added a Peoria Christian School to it this year, where they came in and actually won the thing. You know, so when you add a team that comes in and wins it amongst the likes of a Havana team that's always been solid in Class 2A, an Alina Bluffs team that made the state tournament run not too long ago, a Pleasant Plains team that's really good, and a 4A Pekin school. It's a solid tournament to start with, and we're still trying to mix in some of those 3A, 4A schools, but in the same sense for us, not having to travel so far, so still trying to mix in some of the local schools, just like a Bushnell on a Monday night, which is still good for us. We got a South Fulton coming up later this week too, so it's a nice little mix of both type schools.
And local rivalries as well. Coach, thanks you so much for coming on. Thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the year.
Absolutely, Dana. We appreciate it, so thank you.
That was head coach Zach Keene of MHS Girls Basketball. We'll be back with more after this on Local Sports Focus.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
A lot of exciting plays over the weekend. We have 5 for you this week, of course. They are the top cuts, and we go right to it at play number 5 at 126 pounds. Colt Lawyer, how about that wrestling name? Wait for it, wait for it. There's the call as Lawyer wins by fall in a little under 4 minutes. A nice pin by Lawyer.
To men's basketball for number 4. Leathernecks down by 5 in overtime, but no longer thanks to this. A corner triple knocked in by Garrett Covington. Western came up short even though Covington dropped 30 points in the game.
To women's basketball play number 3. Emily Clemens of a dime of a bounce pass inside of Mallory Boyle. She misses though, but have no fear. Jasmine Patrick puts it back at the second quarter buzzer. Women's basketball will win. More later.
To the hanger for play number 2. This is 9 seconds left. Madison Allen bringing the ball up. Steph Curry style. She'll drill this triple. 46-45. Macomb, the Bombers would inbound the ball and win the game off the terrific shot by Allen.
And to play number 1 for Bradley. Alona Johnson drives inside, but Olivia Braun with the rejection. Was there a riot? Because the SWAT team was called there. One of her 4 blocks. Let's take a look at it one more time in slow motion.
Well, stick around. We have a look at the upcoming week schedule for MHS and WIU.
More local sports focus on the other side of this break.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency or your escape route. I am not fast. Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries. Low battery. Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
Welcome back to Local Sports Focus, and we want to inform you, our viewers, about the sporting events going on at Macomb High and Western Illinois University.
We end our show with a look ahead at next week's sports for the area. We'll start with MHS. The Bombers will start their upcoming home schedule on Friday against West Hancock at the MHS Gym. The girls basketball team plays on Saturday against the South Fulton Rebels at the Washington Street Gym, and the girls are back in action Monday night against Midwest Central. Next Thursday, the boys wrestling team is at home at the MH Gym. That starts at 6 p.m.
To Western Illinois University, doubleheader on Saturday with men's and women's basketball taking on EIU. Men tip off at 2 p.m., women's right after at 4:30. And not on that graphic, don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock women's basketball against Graceland.
Should be fun indeed. Well, thanks for joining us for Local Sports Focus.
We'll be off until February for the holiday season and coming back from break.
For more sports coverage, of course, join us tomorrow live at 4 on Thursday.
For Redrick Terry, I'm Danny Fry, and for all of us here at Local Sports Focus, have a good morning and happy holidays, Macomb.